everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of our podcast, Fae Frequencies. My name is Willow.
My name is Seattle.
I feel like it lagged there for a second. What's happening? And we are, I don't know, we are the Fae Frequencies, I guess. Are we the Fae? Are we the Fae? All right, so let's start with our traditional tarot pull at the beginning of each episode. I chose this deck today because I forget how it's called. I think it's just a regular tarot deck, but like golden. But I really like that one because it's easier to like read with the symbolism that's in there, and like I get like more intuition vibes from this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we're filming this today on the 23rd of August, this is actually the first day of Mercury retrograde. And I'm not ready, honestly, I'm not ready. So let's ask the tarot how it's gonna go. Maybe we'll have it easy this time. Maybe. So
I need it especially for today.
are we gonna make it through alive?
I see one.
Have you seen one? Spoiler. How many cards did I do last time? Just one, right? Or did I do
Yeah, you did
just
one.
one. Yeah. That would be a long. Okay. Ooh, we got the Empress. This is a nice card, actually. She looks on top of her shit. She looks like, I mean, she's an empress. So, like, she's sitting on a throne, being like, what the fuck do you want, Mercury? I can't be bothered.
No, legit with her hand like this. She's like,
Right?
this again.
She's like, I'm Oh, I like that her crown is literally stars. It's like she's looking at the stars and being like, don't fuck with me. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
you're on my, like, as if she owns them almost.
Yeah.
And
She's like bored with Mercury retrograde. She's kind
yeah,
of like, is that all you got?
yeah,
Like,
literally. Oh, and
is
she's
that all
like,
you got?
I feel like usually when she comes up, she's like uh a really nurturing mother vibes, like nurturing and caring kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that comes up, and like she's like in nature, there's like literally a forest behind, a waterfall, she's in a field, like she's really like representing, I guess, Mother Earth, and
Oh my
like
God, your background looks like hers with the
almost,
tree.
oh yeah, the pine trees. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Is that you? Are you the Empress?
Oh, am I the Empress? I fucking wish. I wish I was that unbothered by things. Oh, but she does have like a little Venus sign. We're both Venus signs.
Purple Venus, yeah.
We're both the same
Okay,
sign.
so this means that Mercury retrograde isn't gonna kick us in the ass.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, like
I think
that.
that's what it means. That's what it means for us anyway. I don't know for everybody else watching, and I hope you'll be fine. Brace yourselves.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know how Mercury retrograde went for you.
I think next we should do a bit of a recap and update on our previous episode.
Yeah, there's been a lot of development.
There's been a lot of development, and because we just posted the first episode as well, like so much has happened since, and so much is still going to happen. Like it's not finished. So if you haven't seen our first episode, go watch it, by the way, or listen to it. I'm trying to see how do I start this. All right, so like quickly in our previous episode, we talked about how basically there were a few whistleblowers coming forward to say that aliens were real, or like not aliens specifically, but like UFOs and UAPs, and that the US government had them in their possession. But that was like there was a conference with I think it's David Greer. Is it? Are they both named David? Their names, I always fuck them up. No, it's Stephen Greer. So there was a conference with Stephen Greer that I think we mentioned last time. And there was the interview with David Grush, um, that was on national TV. And since then, there was like an official hearing in a courthouse with a chairman, with people from Congress, people from the government of the US, all officially under oath. And they said like the same thing, basically, the same statements, but like officially under oath. Um, with
Basically
more.
confirming everything that Gretch said.
Yeah, exactly, because Grush was there as well. If you haven't seen it, by the way, the whole conference, not conference, the conference that we mentioned in the previous episode is on YouTube, but the whole hearing as well is all on YouTube, and there's recaps and stuff. And yeah, literally, they get asked the question like, were their bodies retrieved with the UFOs crashed? And then they say yes. Like, they don't say aliens. Like, Grush doesn't say aliens, but he says no, non-human biological
Yeah, and I
bodies.
think they confirmed that the body they have is deceased, right? Like the pilot of
I think
the
so.
vessel is deceased.
I think
Unless
so.
they're just saying that so that we don't think that they're experimenting. I don't that's the
Maybe.
thing. I don't know to what extent to believe because they always lie about this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I did watch a video saying that the pilot of the UFO they captured was deceased, but they're keeping
Okay.
it somewhere.
Okay.
They're definitely experimenting on it, right? They're definitely like
Dead
dissecting
or
it.
not? Yes, for sure.
They have to be. Like I just don't think that humans are of type to like find something and then not like look into it deeper. So
No,
they're
yeah,
definitely
you're gonna analyze
dissecting
it,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then I hope like the family of that alien doesn't think that we're just keeping it hostage. Like I hope they know that it was deceased, that or
So,
not
yeah,
like because then it's bad. Then it's an invasion.
that's the thing. There is so much, like so many possibilities and options. Like if you're for me, when I listen to what the spiritual community has to say about it, they say that aliens, well, the ones that do come in contact with us here, are actually like more evolved spiritually. So like they know that, like they know what we're doing and why we're doing it, type of thing. So they wouldn't take it badly. But like also, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
How do we know?
Yeah,
How do
that's
we
it.
know?
How would we know that? No, that's a good question. How would we know if we've never met aliens? How would we know that they're more advanced than us? Maybe they have different technology because they have different material,
Yeah.
you know? Maybe they like we have aluminum, but maybe they have something that we don't have in their
Yeah.
planet. That's what, it doesn't mean necessarily that they're more advanced. They just have different.
I think they also say that because in terms of how we understand physics at the moment, if we'd want to travel anywhere in space, it would take months. I think I forget how long it is, but no, I think it takes years if we want to send people to Mars. I think it takes 9 years to go to Mars or something. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
really?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 9 months. Um, maybe I'm just bullshitting any number and
I do know it takes a long time because it's millions of
yeah.
light years away. That doesn't take a couple days to get
Yeah, and
there.
that's just Mars, which is the closest to us. Sorry, I heard it bang.
Yeah, I actually just saw like people walking past my house and I'm who is Biscuit barking at? I saw legs just now.
Is it a cute guy?
Oh no, wait, let me look at my cameras. I have cameras set up.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I like I legitimately saw legs.
But just legs?
Yeah, because that's all I can see from the bottom.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
There's just a bit, like, wait a
Like in front of
second.
the door? What if it's the man in black?
Yeah, let me just- or like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car parked out front. The car says Twitzer Prestige on it, so I think they're making like
Oh,
rentals to the roof.
okay. So it's not the
It
Men in
scared
Black.
me. It's
Yeah.
not the Men in Black unless they're like undercover.
Yeah. And they're waiting to see what we're gonna say, and then they're gonna come and zap our because like I heard a bang in my wall right when you were like, I see legs.
Listen, I think if we watch this video back, and maybe you could put this on the podcast, but I think around the same time it happened, we're both kind of like
We're
looking and
both
we're like,
looking that way in our
yeah,
cameras.
that's so creepy. We'll see at
That's,
during editing, but yeah, guys,
us.
if we disappear, we're not suicidal. We're not.
Yeah. I mean, I may look
I don't want to
slightly mentally
die.
unstable right now, but
No,
but I'm not suicidal.
suicidal. We're just talking about this for fun. It's really just
It's just entertainment. We don't believe
entertaining.
in it. Please.
Men in Black don't murder us.
Please. They're not gonna murder us. They're just gonna zap our memory and maybe take us on. I don't know what they do. I forget what they do. Um, right. What were we even saying? We were, oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
we're talking about how it takes like light years to get anywhere in space. Like it takes years and years and years.
Yeah.
And we know-ish sort of that Mars is like the closest and it takes years to get there. But
Yeah.
we're sure that they're pretty much sure that there's no life there from our so like basically it would have to be a planet that's further away. But then what and that's also what they say during the hearing. I forget his name, but one of them who had like an actual encounter because like David Grush is basically saying what he's heard from many, many, many people that are close to him and blah blah, but he has not seen much. But the two other whistleblowers are there. I should find their names. That's very unprofessional of me to not have them written down. But anyway, um, they did have a first-hand encounter and they're telling their own story. And
Like they had a one-on-one with the alien, the
well,
the same alien they captured, or like just
no, no, no,
in,
just like with UFOs. So like the
with
hearing is about
UFO.
UFOs and UAPs,
Okay.
not about aliens. But they do talk about obviously it kind of comes together, right? If there is a vessel, it has to be either it has to be controlled by someone somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does come to aliens question mark. Um I honestly don't remember in the hearing if they do say that there was a body retrieved like in the hearing. But they do talk about it pretty much aliens and at some point David Grush is asked if he's aware that if anyone has been harmed or if they've ever been hostile and
Yeah.
he's like yes. He's like I know many people who were yeah harmed, which I don't know how I feel about that because that's contradictory to what Thea
Harmed.
was saying
You wait, harmed by the alien. Is that
by
what you're
the yeah
saying?
by the aliens or like relate in relation to the UFO UAPs because it's not all just one encounter. Like it's all different
Mm.
UFOs, different shapes. One of them who's there, he calls his encounter the Tic Tac um UFO because it looked like a giant Tic Tac. It was like a big oval thing.
Okay.
Um, and he said something else. That's what I wanted to say at first. Are you taking a picture of me?
No, I'm like on my
Oh,
camera
you're
to
looking
see
at
like,
camera.
yeah, because Biscuit, we see like there's a car parked there,
Yeah,
and
it's just
Biscuit
in
like
front of you.
parking again, and I'm like, who are they? But he's
I
like
can swear
right up front.
if they start working on your roof and it's like bang 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 bang, bang I'm gonna be so pissed.
Me too. Mercury retrograde happening as we
I
speak.
know. I know. So yeah, and so they're to come back to the Tic Tac and the other one who's also had an encounter, like what they describe is that it's basically able to move really fast. And so 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 that would like in the atmosphere, but that would also mean, I guess, in space that it could move like within seconds it was gone. Within
It
seconds.
makes sense. It's kind of like the movies we watch, like Guardians of the Galaxy, for
Yeah.
example. If you've
It's,
ever seen it, like it doesn't take them 39 years to get to another planet. They like zap through space and
exactly. And like,
yeah.
I mean, it like in the same way that it used to take months to travel by boat from Europe to North America, for example. Now we can do it by plane in a few hours. Like, I've it's like a way that the technology has evolved for them, um, to just go through space faster, probably. But I think that's also why some people think that they're more evolved spiritually or like in their minds, because I think that we're also more evolved than when we were traveling by boat. And but an interesting thing is that our science is starting to prove that basically, I think Einstein found that out, is that time and space is basically, okay, I'm not a scientist, so I can't describe that to the perfection.
Explain it as you remember.
But yeah, but the way space works and like physics basically is like it's like sort of an oval. I'll have to try to find pictures, but like that means that I think it's for time and space together. But then we see time as like a linear thing. Basically, instead of going around the curve, you can like zap through doop doop like like what we're doing right now is we're going around the curve, and that takes years and years and years and hundreds of years. But if you can
Right.
zap doop, through it, then it goes fast.
Yeah, well, it's
And
kind
they
of
know how
like
to do that.
is it like the concept of a like a black hole? If you like
Yeah.
fold if you fold two papers,
Yes.
if you have a
Yes.
paper, right? Is that the
I
example?
think
Because
that's
I've
it.
heard that
I think that's
if you
that.
have a paper
Yeah.
and you fold the paper and you make a hole with a pencil through the paper,
Yeah.
then to travel from that side of the paper to the other side of the paper, if folded through the black hole, you get to that, other side so much faster
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
had you
that's
had
it.
to travel it without the fold.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
exactly it. So, and
yeah.
that's how I think Einstein figured out that like that's basically what it actually is.
Spaces,
But
yeah,
you have to figure
spaces
out
that,
how to get there. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they probably have if they can travel so fast. So I think that's also why like oh they're more evolved in physics and quantum physics, because I think that's quantum physics. I'm not sure.
I think so.
And it kind of goes together, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for us, that's when physics stopped making sense because the
Yeah.
numbers get so little that the math just doesn't make sense for our human brains anymore.
Exactly.
That's where we get lost and we're like, well, how? But then maybe they have the advancement to think through it and they have an Einstein of their own, basically, that,
Yeah, well, as you said, it's like it's too hard to comprehend for our human brains.
yeah,
But I'm sure there's a way that eventually it will make sense. And and science is more and more proving stuff that spirituality has been saying for hundreds of years. So like so now we're able to grasp some concepts a bit better with science evidence, but like yeah, it's like our human brain needs to adapt and like grow before we can like understand those things. Because it's just
exactly
like it looks mental, otherwise you're like, what?
what is happening. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think without getting too into it, that's what happened. There was an official hearing, and they were saying under oath that they have UFOs, they have UAPs, that there were beings with them. They don't mention if they were alive or dead, I think. Or maybe they say they were dead. I'm actually not sure. Um, he
I don't,
does.
yeah, so don't quote me on this. I don't know if the piece I heard on TikTok about having a deceased alien
Mm,
body. I don't know if that comes from the hearing or if it's just hearsay.
okay.
I I definitely
Yeah.
didn't look into the source. You know, you just kind of like scroll and you're listening to people talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so don't quote me, but I did hear that.
Yeah, because
And then
I would 100% believe it, but the hearing is like 3 hours long and I did not take notes. So I wish I did. I wish I did. Uh, yeah. So what about you? You had something to say about that.
yeah, so Seattle's Garden. Again on the topic of aliens, and it's just like people are really skeptical about this whole thing. And honestly, like I don't blame them. I don't think that you blame them either. It's
Mhm.
the government has tried using aliens and alien invasion so many times, and then it went nowhere. But then in the background, something else happened. That people, a lot of people are skeptical about this now. And so I've been online digging the interwebs, and there's a conspiracy. It's called Project Bluebeam. It's a book
Yeah.
written just a very, very long time ago. I don't remember the year. I should have looked into that. But it's a book written by Serge Monast. And the book is basically saying how the United Nations and NASA are going to collaborate together with NASA's technology, obviously, um, to unite the whole world under a new false religion.
Hmm.
And the reason why United Nations and NASA's technology collaborate to create this whole new false religion is because there's a supposed alien invasion.
Right.
And it's interesting that earlier you said, you know, they've testified that there have been attacks from these aliens, and it goes against what other people have said about aliens in the spiritual community about how they're very kind, gentle creatures. But then here we have people from the government saying, no, they've attacked us. They're not all
Yes.
nice and I come in peace, you know?
Yes, I see.
So
Yeah.
you see what I mean? So the Serge Monas, his book is basically saying United Nations, NASA come together. Their goal is to create a new false religion because of this alien invasion. The aliens are evil, they're here to kill us. And our savior, something is going to save us because humans, we can't compete with aliens. We don't have the technology. We're not half as smart. And so, our savior in this book is this other creature that descends from the sky.
Mm.
And it just descends from the sky and it destroys all of the aliens. And then, us humans, we're so in awe of what we're seeing, you know? We're
Yeah.
just kind of like, wow. And then we just fall in love with this creature and we become followers of this creature. And
Okay.
because we're all following this one being, we're not divided by these different religions like
Yeah.
Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. We're all just followers of this new God that just saved us from
Yeah.
aliens. And this essentially becomes a one world order.
Yeah.
And this one world order is, you know, as everyone knows, it's a very popular term
Conspiracy. Yeah.
for conspiracy theorists who believe in the Illuminati because the Illuminati's goal is, you know, one world
Yeah.
order,
And
new
because
world
there's
order,
so many theories that fall under that
the
idea.
new world order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
many
this one is using aliens
aliens. Yeah.
as a backbone for the reason of it happening. And this whole, you know, one world order thing is basically the birth of the Antichrist because now we're following this
Oh,
creature that really came out of nowhere to
yeah, I've
save
got
humanity.
chills.
And yeah, and it's interesting that you said like um the
Mhm.
people who testified said that the aliens attacked them. Like that's really, and that's why I asked, oh, is it just this one alien they captured? And you said no, it's different aliens from different times. And
Yeah.
it's really
But it's
interesting
just
because
Grush. It's just Grush who
I
said
Rush that said that. But it's I every time I've talked to people and I've asked them if they believed in aliens and I've asked them if they think that aliens are, you know, kind and you know, and the answer I always got was that aliens are good.
Yeah.
They're not fucked up like we are here. They
Yeah.
are just so evolved. They just love, like, they have so much love to give. And some people even think that the aliens helped us in the past in
Yeah.
building our society, building the pyramids. So obviously they're helpers, and you can't just call people like that evil. I don't think we've ever helped any other society. Heck, if anything, we're putting other people down to bring ourselves up,
Literally.
you know? So
Literally.
we're the evil ones, the aliens. I can't believe that they can be evil. And so it's interesting that Gretch came out and said that,
Yeah.
they've attacked us, because this really just aligns with Serge Monast. But then what's even more interesting, this part connects directly with Serge Monast's book. It's Ronald Reagan. We all know who that is.
Yeah.
He talked about this Project Bluebeam many, many, many times when he
Yes.
had his interviews in front of the crowds. And he, instead of, however, saying that a creature comes out of the sky to save us all, he referred to this part as humans uniting. He
Yeah.
referred to this as people from different countries recognizing that we're all human beings and that we need to help each other in
Against.
destroying this one common
Yeah.
enemy, the aliens.
Yeah.
And so this theory goes a bit like this.
Yeah.
The government, when I say they, I'm referring to the government, they want us to believe in UFOs, and they're preparing us for this alien invasion, making it scary, saying, like you said, they've attacked us, they're not good, they're not kind. And that's kind of really always been the plan for them. And like,
Yeah.
the only way to do this, the only way to get us to accept that we're being invaded and that aliens are bad, is to make us think as though it's an invasion and that we're going to be attacked. And for us, for humans, it wouldn't be negative because, again, we're all going to unite. Imagine Putin and, um,
I
yeah,
can't believe,
imagine
honestly, I can't
just like
believe it.
uniting. You know what I mean? Like,
I believe
imagine
more
Putin
in
like,
aliens arriving than humans uniting. Literally.
this is Ronald Reagan saying,
Yeah.
"I have a dream."
Yeah.
Like,
Literally. But it's not happening. I'm sorry, Ronald.
not with Putin around, not today. But his saying was that but leaving that behind,
Yeah.
the idea of using aliens as an
Yeah.
invasion, or aliens are here, is just a way to get the government to control us in a different way. I
Yeah.
think that's what the theory is saying, to really get us to unite and
Yeah.
to believe in one thing, and then to be ruled by, again, a
That was
one
the
world government. Because
that was yeah.
if different countries start uniting, right, then we're starting to put our differences aside. If North Korea is becoming friends with all these countries that right now,
Yeah.
if that happens, then we're not just being divided, we're
Hmm.
uniting. And again, by uniting with this one government to get the aliens
Take
out,
over.
because we're embracing that we're being attacked, we're again being ruled by a one world government. And this goes back to
And
the
then
one
there's no
world
way
order.
out of it, right?
And there's no way out of it,
Because it's
because
just
then
one
we're
thing.
like, oh, we like this. We weren't attacking each other. We're attacking
Yeah.
something other than us. And it felt good to work all together like that.
Yeah.
So the theory, the Project Bluebeam, is just a way of, I think, from my understanding, is just another way of getting everyone into the idea that aliens are coming,
Yeah.
having us embrace it, and working together to really get to what the Illuminati has been working towards, the New World Order,
Yeah.
one world
I
government,
you
all
know
that good stuff.
it was also a theory behind the whole pandemic that this thing was happening. It was again the idea, especially at the beginning, everyone uniting against this one virus, right?
Yeah,
But it failed royally, I think. So now they're
yeah,
onto aliens. Like I feel like that would make sense.
yeah. And you know, people have said over and over they've used aliens so many times as an excuse for distraction or anything else that was going on in the world because we
Yeah.
like humans, I really want to meet other species. You know, I'm tired of,
Hey,
you know,
I'm
I
tired of
really want
those.
to meet, I'm ready to embrace them, I'm ready to welcome them. And the government knows that.
Yes.
And but they can spin it any way that they want to. Now, I'm not saying that what the whistleblowers are saying isn't real, but it's
It's
the government, and
controlled.
I've like,
Like what
yeah,
they can say is controlled in a way. I think so.
is
Like I think
control.
it was under oath, so I do believe it's true. Maybe some of them have been harmful, but like, what have they done to them for them to attack back? Like us? I mean, like, what have humans attacked
Yeah.
first? Because like Americans are good with guns, is all I'm saying. You know, we've got less
All
than a
right.
minute left, so I'm just gonna send quickly. Hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts on
Yes.
another link.
Yes.
Press record.
So I actually update on the man that was outside of my house. Um, I I opened the door as like the Zoom ended. I opened the door and he was sitting in his car. So I said, yeah, he was French too because it said Twitter. So I asked in French, like, excuse me, are you fixing the roof up here? And he's like, oh no, 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 I was just taking measurements. We're not fixing it. We're just taking measurements. And I'm like, measurements for what? And he's like, the landlord was just here. They just left. They just left. So like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
That's
The fact that he was like, I need to specify that the landlord was here before she thinks I'm suspicious, but you already did, and now it's even worse.
but the thing is, like, he doesn't know that I have cameras, maybe, and this whole time there was only one car parked out there. So,
So where was the landlord?
so where was the landlord? That's it. What landlord? I didn't see a second car parked, and he said they just left. Just left
Like,
to
oh,
me is
like you
like
missed them.
within the last like 10 minutes. And we've been checking this whole time. There was only one car. So,
Mm-hmm.
Men in Black. You know
Headed
how
in
like
your
in
house.
movies they have these like big satellite listeners and they can just listen in on every
It's got a,
conversation
a
without
spy gadget.
a
Like,
spy gadget, without having to like bug someone's house. They can just listen on. He's gone now. He's not there because I think he got scared that I walked out.
yeah, because he was like, oh no, she's on to me. It's the man in black.
I thought about it though. I'm like, should I confront? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna confront.
Well, I could
I
be like, excuse
don't
me,
know
are
who
you
they are.
here about the
I'm gonna be
aliens?
like, I'm not scared.
Are you here about the aliens?
Literally.
He'd be like, what? The guy's just trying
Oh
to
my
do his
God.
job.
No, honestly, like I feel like women should act a bit crazy when things like this happen, because then it's just gonna scare them off. Like
Literally. They'd be like, ooh.
maybe he was just parked there, and then if I come out being like, "Are you here because of the aliens?" He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And just like drive off. Like she's not normal.
Oh, so
But
he's like, what do you mean? Do you have an alien in your
I'm
basement?
so glad I confronted.
Yeah. Now he's gone. We can. So I think you were still talking when we had to cut it off short. Did you still have anything you wanted to cover about the Project Bluebeam or the One World Order thingy? Because they feel
Yeah, so I had
yeah,
like
okay.
one last thing to add to
Yes.
all of this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one last thing that I'm gonna add onto it, and then I'm done. And it's saying my internet connection is unstable, so let me know if I'm cutting off.
Okay.
Um,
You are a little bit, but like
okay.
it's
So
fine.
there is an interesting thing that happened in the midst of all of this. So, you know how when a new movie comes out, especially when it's a horror movie,
Yeah.
they always market it, right? If you think back to like 2016, there were a bunch of clowns everywhere.
Oh, the fucking
And everyone was freaking out what's going on with the murder clowns, like, and they were everywhere, literally everywhere. And that was a whole marketing scheme for the movie It. And
yeah.
it was such a good marketing that everyone went and watched it. Even people who fucking hated clowns were watching it. because it was just so creepy. And
I mean,
among the midst of all of this alien stuff, there a little something happened that I was just kind of suspicious about it. I don't know if you've seen the crazy lady on the plane that was like, that motherfucker in the back. I don't know if you saw that.
no,
You haven't seen
I
that video?
I don't think I have.
Oh my God, I'm gonna send it to you. I wish
Please.
I could like screen share. Can I screen share?
Yeah, you probably can. Because I
Yeah,
started
go
with
on YouTube and type plain lady alien. You're gonna see the video. We can screen share with everybody else if they haven't seen it.
okay,
But
Lane Lady Alien.
yes, so there was, I'm gonna like summarize the video before we put it.
Okay,
A
okay.
lady makes starts making a whole scene in the plane before takeoff, and she's very shook about what she's seen, and she's just pointing to something, and she's like, "That motherfucker in the back isn't real. I'm telling you right now,
What?
they're not real." And no one knew what she was talking about, and people were starting to speculate that she saw an alien sitting next to her.
Or that she was on drugs?
So she was so well put together. Like
Okay.
when you see the video, she's so well put together that she doesn't look like somebody who takes drugs. She
Okay, she
looks
doesn't
like
look high,
very,
yeah.
she doesn't look high, and she's very well spoken. She's not like mumbling her words. But then it's like if and whatever she's pointing at is literally human. Like you can't even see who she's pointing at. But
Mm,
then people, the second she points, everyone sitting in the plane just like turns back, all of them at the same time. Everyone just goes like, "Who the fuck isn't real?" But then everyone is real. Everyone on that plane was human. So no one knows what she talked about. And then we never even heard of this lady after this video came out. Like
okay.
you know how like typically people come and like defend themselves on the internet. She
Yeah.
never came to clarify what she saw. There were no follow-ups. Like she just that video popped out amongst this whole alien stuff and it just settled down and like
Okay.
we didn't hear about her ever again, even to this day. And this happened like maybe 2 months ago now.
Okay.
Um, so let's just play the video so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll
It's
do
very big. I'm
that.
surprised you haven't seen it. It's all over TikTok. Like it
Ooh.
has so many views. I for sure thought that you had seen it.
Uh, no, that's the thing, because I'm not on TikTok that often. So if it was on TikTok, I haven't seen it. And then, yeah, I feel like I should have seen it because I'm onto the alien stuff, but oops, that's what I was watching before. Uh, uh, what's the sound? Wait a second. Wait, I'm trying to start it again from the beginning.
That motherfucker in the
Yeah.
back isn't real. I love it.
I'm telling you, I'm getting and there's a reason why I'm getting it, but I am telling you. Sorry. I'm not going to.
Look at how everyone turned
The
on
guy
her.
goes, bye.
Ah, she delayed a whole flight essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, saying that somebody that was sitting next to her isn't real. And there are so many people on that plane, and no one from that plane, I don't think at least their video hasn't gone viral if they did make a follow-up, but no one from this plane ever came out to say like, guys, no one, whatever she was pointing at wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was a human, you know? No one came and said anything, which just it
They were
just
like,
leads me to believe
yeah.
that it's some kind of marketing stunt for this whole alien stuff because it happens right when we're having the whistleblowers come and speak, right? All of this like alien stuff, it's just all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, and to me, I was just kind of like, what if this was a, marketing stunt by the government to get everybody just so invested in this whole alien stuff, the
Hmm.
whistleblower. I don't know what they're trying to do, but why would they, if this is a marketing strategy, why would they want to market what the whistleblowers are saying? Is it because they want more people
Mm,
to think that aliens are here, more people invested, more people to have to embrace it? Because this isn't a movie, right? It's real life. If what these
yeah.
whistleblowers are saying is true, is in fact true, why are they marketing it like it would be a movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are more and more and more movies coming out or series that happen in space or like it's like in the future, like Guardians of the Galaxy, like everything with the Marvel universe.
Yeah, actually, I've seen yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's a whole Raj sent me my friend Raj sent me for the listeners. He sent me a screenshot the other day, well, a couple of weeks back, of his Disney Plus, and there's a whole category where it's like I forget how it's called, but it's basically something an invasion. Oh wait, I need to find it because that's actually
It's
quite relevant to what we're talking about. But it's like a whole category on to watch like anything that's like alien related or blah blah that's on
like a Netflix category,
Disney. Oh yeah, but it's Disney Plus. So like
Disney
you know
Plus.
how when you scroll on the home page, you'll have family and then you have a few
But
things.
isn't
They're
that
kind of like on Netflix
suspicious
as well.
though? Why are
Yeah.
they, you know, this
But
is
which
like this alien stuff is such a real thing. Why would they want to market a bunch of make-believe movies and TV shows about aliens when this one thing that's like very real happening?
well yeah, that's the
Why
thing.
would
We're
they market
thinking
it at the same time? I understand that maybe this is prime time to be marketing alien stuff because people are going to be watching it, but at the same time,
so
it makes the whistleblower story a little less believable because it's like there's make believe and then there's reality, and you can't just mix both of them
yeah, no, exactly. Well,
together, in my opinion. I think it mixes people up. People get confused with what's real and what's not real.
we're thinking that it's actually some kind of programming where like because okay, so what I think about all that, I like the one world order type of thing is a an option. What I think is that it is happening and it is going to happen. The government is well aware, but they are trying to control on how it's going to be on how it's going to go down. Because like within the spiritual community and UFO community, everyone knows that it's like it's gonna happen. And the thing I want to talk about afterwards, kind of like that's where I get some of my info also, and that kind of like relates to that. Um, but so like if they know that some, let's say invasion, but it's not like an invasion. If the aliens are coming, or if they're already here, right? If basically disclosure, which is like actually coming in contact and sort of having a relationship with the aliens, that's kind of what they call disclosure. Um, if it's gonna happen, I think what they're doing is, yeah, they're trying to control how it's gonna go down, how it's gonna be perceived, how, and like if obviously, yes, if they make it sound like a threat, then we're gonna all be like, oh my God, da, 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 and like try to kick them off the planet because it might be going against whatever plan they had for the planet. Like not the aliens, but the government. Um, and I do think that, but at the same time, it can't be, they can't make it too scary, otherwise people will freak the fuck out. So I do think that it's some kind of priming all the movies, all that whole category on Disney Plus, all of those. Maybe if that's marketing that video, it's a marketing to be like, oh, they're here, like they are, and just be prepared. Like the more and more you see about that, like your brain won't freak out as much when you do come face to face
No,
with
exactly. It
something.
it softens the blow. That's the whole point of priming
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. So I think it's a bit of all of that happening. There's the priming and then they're gonna be like, I don't know, whatever their agenda is of the government and whatever the aliens' agenda is, which I don't think they have. I personally don't think they have an agenda in the sense that we use the word agenda because it's always
Yeah.
negative. It's like, oh, they have an agenda, they have a plan, and they're trying to blah do this. But I don't think it's negative. Um, because where I want
No,
to
totally.
where I want to go, uh, what I want to talk about next, like it's not negative at all. What and that's yeah. But oh, actually, because before we wrap up this thing, um, when you talked about Project Bluebeam, you mentioned the Antichrist thing. I was like, I've got shivers. I've got shivers.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of, I've mentioned it a billion of times to you. I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous episode of the podcast, but like the Apocalypse series by JK Ultra on TikTok, and it's also on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
But yeah, basically in that series, she talks about the Antichrist and how Nostradamus even talked about the Antichrist in his prophecies, and like how he gave a birth chart to the Antichrist, and to astrologers who like kind of decoded and tried to make out a birth date that would match this birth chart. He was like born in the 80s or something like that. And so he is like roaming the world right now as we talk, as like, so it could be possible that even though he's not coming from the sky, although that could be very, like, that could mean anything coming from the sky. Um,
Ah,
he could be on one of those vessels. Um, but yeah, like it might all be true. The Antichrist thing.
that is actually, I see why you got shivers because that's
Yeah.
actually terrible. Something just like descending out of the sky that gets us all in awe, and then we're
Yeah.
under a new world order. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well, I got the
terrifying
shivers
to me.
because it could be true, not necessarily the fact that he descends from the sky, which yes would be slightly weird and confusing and terrifying, but like it's the fact that now we're like, oh my God, the aliens are real and this is happening. But then at the same time, there's like, oh, the Antichrist, according to her series and stuff, like if he's born right now, if he's in like if he was born in the 80s, that means he's at least 30-ish.
Yeah.
Like that if he's alive and like all the
Yeah.
alien stuff is happening. Like I got shivers just because it kind of like both stories kind of merged together, and I'm like, I was
Yeah.
not expecting that.
The points connecting, it's always, yeah,
Yeah. Fun fact as
terrifying.
well. Fun fact though, when you think about that, isn't the Antichrist just an egregore that we ourselves created? Because like
Yeah.
I'm working on a video about like all the types of like spirits and all this sort of thing. And like when you look like at the definition of an egregore, that's like a being or energy that's been created because a lot of people believe in it.
Yeah.
So isn't and like and someone was saying like Santa Claus technically is an egregore.
Yeah,
He probably
exactly.
like that's why Christmas feels so magical because he is there as an energy that we've created to be this loving being that brings us gifts and love.
So humans are basically just
Yeah.
going around spooking themselves out with things that
Yes.
they've created themselves.
Yes. Being like, the Antichrist is coming. And it's just like, yeah, because you keep thinking about it.
You keep thinking about it. It wasn't a thing until you made it a thing.
Yeah.
We're just out here spooking ourselves for no reason.
Literally. Literally, because we create our own
Humans are so
reality.
weird. We're so weird. Who
Yeah.
does that? Who does that?
I guess because we're not aware that we're doing it.
It's hilarious because then we're like, we're hospitalizing some people out here that say, a bit of like woohoo stuff. Then we're not hospitalizing the other bunch saying woohoo stuff just because
It's religious.
it's religious.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, some things really don't make sense. Um,
no,
but
interesting.
yeah, anyway, so I want to get on the topic of Bashar. That was my other topic. Because it is related to aliens. And to whoever doesn't know Bashar, it is this being that is channeled by Daryl Anka, who's an American, but he channels and receives messages that are spoken through his body from this being that names himself Bashar, because that's not really his name. I don't know if he has an actual name, but like um it's from a language that's in the heritage of Daryl Anka. Forget which one. Somewhere, I think somewhere in the Middle East, but I forget. But it's in his heritage, and it means messenger basically in that language. But Bashar is actually allegedly an alien. So
Plot twist.
yeah, plot twist. Yeah. So that's where sometimes you're like, ooh, channeled from like, ooh, spirits, angels, and then you say, no, that's an alien. And then at first I was like, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in it anymore. But honestly, even if it's not true, for example, what anything he says, he's my new guru. Whenever I'm having a down day, whenever I don't know, I just want to have a little thought about spiritual stuff. I go listen to anything he has to say. And honestly, even if it's not real, it's so wise. It's just so wise that you're like, yeah, yeah, okay, I can go on with my day. Um, the reason why I don't think aliens have an agenda, if I think about the information that has come from Bashar, and that he also says basically that I mean maybe not necessarily all aliens, but for example the Greys, and I think I mentioned that in the first episode, but for example the Greys are actually from a different version of Earth. So like in a parallel universe, sort of more or less different dimension. And that's what aliens could be as well, because like I think everything in a sense is a different dimension. The way that I'm starting to see things is just like layers of
Right.
things, right?
Aliens would essentially be made of the same atoms and particles that we're made out of, because we're made
Right.
of stars, so they're also
Yeah.
made of we're made of the same material.
And where it becomes interesting, because earlier we were talking about, and I was thinking about it, I forget what we were talking about. We were like, oh, humans are so funny. We're saying that aliens this and that, but like we're the evil ones and blah blah. And the thing is, a lot of people say that we're actually hybrids, that we are not that like some people, there's this theory that the Garden of Eden was actually like a lab. Like it was like it was the first experiments from a lab basically made from aliens. Now that's a bit like out there, but who knows?
I
And
like that. I
and
like that.
that also goes with the theory of the illusion, because like we're basically an experiment. We're experimenting things and we're like just doing whatever we do, and like whatever happens happens because this is an experiment. Bashar does confirm, I guess, this theory that maybe not we're not hybrids right now, or so, or not all of us, but we are contributing to another generation of hybrid children for that for the I think it's the Greys, if I'm not mistaken, for that other alien race who can't really reproduce anymore. We're like merging, and in a couple of generations we're going to be hybrid people. But like we're not all going to be completely human.
Half human, half aliens.
Yeah. How
That
weird.
that is like very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I like it.
It's mind-blowing. Sometimes I listen to, because it's basically like a conference sort of things. Like he will be on the stage, will say his message, and then after that, people can ask questions. And sometimes people ask about like, oh, do I have hybrid children and blah blah and how many? Um, because that's the thing also, Bashar's civilization is a bit higher up in frequencies and like in spirituality, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's like through channeling is basically one of the only ways that we can come in contact with them, because we're lower than their frequencies, so we can't
Yeah.
meet. But like he knows more basically because he's more elevated, whatever. Well, all of them.
And
And
wouldn't you say that they've started priming us with the idea of having hybrid babies with,
yeah.
say, the Umbrella Academy, for example? They've
Oh,
come from aliens and they have relationships with non-aliens. And we
yeah.
all think that like that, oh, that's so
And
cool, you know? We
those
dig it.
women who suddenly get pregnant
Yeah.
and baby basically give birth to hybrid children.
Hybrid children.
That's
That's there you go.
yeah. Like
Another
that's
example of priming.
yeah.
And we don't hate it as viewers of the show. We're not hating on it.
We're
We're like,
into this,
oh,
right? We're like,
we're
because
into
you think I'm watching fiction, this makes sense. Now, if it's in reality, suddenly it doesn't make sense.
it.
How?
Yeah. Wait a second.
Uh, because I was just gonna say sometimes I listen to like those questions and that whole conversation going on, and I'm like, it feels like I'm watching a movie. This feels like the scenario of a movie. But what is a movie other than something we've imagined ourselves? Like, why can't it be real?
Yeah,
And JK Ultra
absolutely.
actually said something really interesting the other day. I forget, I don't know, in one of her videos. Because she also writes and she was and that's someone else who said that, but anyway, I forget who that was. Um Someone said essentially that writers are actually channelers as well. They're no, they're remote viewers
Mm.
because like sometimes you will write and you get in the zone, right? You get in the flow. And or like I mean it doesn't even have to be writers. Artists in general like are able to channel when you get like in the zone and it's just coming out so nicely. You're inspired and
Yep.
stuff. And it's like you're connected to something else. But she was saying that specifically for writers because yeah, there's like for example, that one I don't know if you remember that conspiracy theory that there's a this book that came out like in the 1800s, I think, that was all about the Titanic, but basically before it happened. Do you remember that?
Did you send it to me?
Maybe. And I know Shane talked about it like years ago, years ago. Uh,
I don't remember. I don't recall.
I think it's called the Titan or something like
And
that.
it's called the Titan. That makes it much
Yeah,
freakier.
no, it's very like the name of the boat in the book is very similar to Titanic, and then most of the story like it's the story of a boat that crashes into an iceberg and sinks. Like it's and that was before the Titanic
Quite
happened.
literally how it happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't recall this, but I want to look it up because
yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean I
Yeah.
can maybe look it right now just like see if I can find like a picture of the book. Oh, okay, wait. There's this website here that says the Titanic was eerily predicted by two books actually. Okay, first book is called How the Mail Steamer Went Down in Mid-Atlantic by a Survivor. That is a long ass name. But that was written but in God damn it, we have 9 minutes left. Um in 1886. That's not the one I wanted to talk about. The other one is The Wreck of the Titan or Futility. Um, doesn't say the year, but I think it's around the same year. The story follows the fictional ocean liner Titan, which ultimately hits an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sinks. Oh yeah, it also says in the story the Titan was both dubbed unsinkable and proceeded to sink on a cold April night.
Ah, I think the Titanic sank April 12th.
Yeah, something
That
like
is
that.
that is insane. That's
Yeah.
actually insane.
So people were like, "Oh, they predicted it. They predicted it." And I think I had a conspiracy theory at some point that was like, "No, maybe they influenced the future." Right?
Yeah.
That was my conspiracy theory on TikTok that I never finished. And it was actually about the one world order.
Every-
In the end,
Everything comes back to that. Everything
everything
just
goes
comes
back to
back to that. It's crazy.
wow, mind blown. But yeah, but like I feel like that would make sense when you think about writers or channelers or remote viewers. It's like, no, he's actually seen that. He's actually seen the story and then was like, or like maybe he had a dream and he was like, oh, I mean, that would make a great book. Wrote about it. Turns out
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like yeah. And because
So
Jake,
Bashar is
yeah,
predicting. The future.
Um, yeah. I mean, I forget why I started talking about this, but like about writers, but no, Bashar just knows. Why did I talk about this?
Bashar just knows.
Bashar just
Um,
knows. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Bashar. I had to bring him into the conversation because I know I'll reference him many, many times in the future as
oh yeah,
well.
for sure.
And I
For
feel like
sure.
people should look him up, honestly, on any topic, even not on alien stuff, but even on other stuff, on how to like manifest your reality that you really want. Because he's saying we're literally shifting realities second to second. We just don't notice it. So
Yeah.
like if you know how to hack the system, then that's how you can, make what you want or what you need happen.
That
Uh,
would explain a lot of the Mandela effects, which, by
it
the way,
would.
we have a very, very, very insane Mandela effect that we're gonna get into at the next episode. Um, I
Is it?
can't wait.
Yeah. Wait, is it the one that I wanted to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I maybe we can give him a little like
We
a
might
little
actually still have time because it's really not going to be that long. I'll play a
really
bit of the
okay, then
song and I'll
let's
be like,
pop
"What do
it
you
in.
hear?"
Let's pop
Yeah.
it in, and then that way we can finish off with the Mandela effect
Yes.
and
And let us know what you think about it because
yeah, I love
honestly,
those because they always mind blow me
yes.
and I need to hear it.
Yeah, and this one mine blew me because I found it. So I don't know if it's really a Mandela effect. You guys tell me. Maybe I'm just fucking stupid. But it's a song from 21 Pilots and it's called The Hype. It's been out a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I know the hype.
Yeah, it's like I don't believe the hype. That
No, I
that song.
haven't heard it in a very, very long time, but I used to like bump it in my car all the time.
Exactly. Me too. Love the shit out of that song. And at the end, well, sort of like the bridge at the end, like just recently I was listening to it and at some point I was like, wait a minute. That's like I heard a different word and I looked up the lyrics and it was a different word. And I was like, there's no way I've been singing this song for at least 5 years and
Yeah.
just heard the right word. Like, there's no way. And even for me, I feel like right now the sentence doesn't make sense. And I'll play it for you right now. I'll share my
Yes,
screen.
yes, yes.
I have it prepared to the right bit.
Hopefully it doesn't lag.
Hopefully. Okay. Um, here we go. Can you hear? Oh shit.
Yeah.
But I can hear my way around. No, I don't know which way I'm going, but I can hear my way around.
Okay, and then he just keeps repeating that, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need any more. What what did you hear?
But no, I don't know which way I'm going.
Yeah,
Wait, I
and then
literally have a blank.
wait, do you want me to play? Okay, I'll keep playing.
Yeah, let's
Listen
wait.
carefully.
Wait. But I don't know which way I'm going. But I wait, play it again.
Oh, oh. Okay.
But I can hear my way around.
No, I don't know which way I'm going.
Going, but I can hear my way around.
But I can hear my way around.
Okay, yes, those are the lyrics, but I can hear my way around.
Yeah.
Has it always been that? Because I've been singing for years
What
something
have you been
different.
singing?
I've been singing, no, I don't know which way I'm going, but I can
Mm-hmm.
make my way around. Which makes a lot more
Ah,
sense,
that
doesn't it?
makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Yeah. How do
But
you hear your way
you
around?
can't. You don't hear your way around.
I don't know which way I'm going, but I can make my way. Yeah, actually, that one makes a lot more sense. And I think that resonates more. Maybe that's why I couldn't remember.
Maybe.
Make my way around. Is he
So
really saying I can hear my way around?
yes, and when I put the CC, wait,
Huh.
and when you look up the lyrics, it's here. And I hear here clearly, but like so like there's no way that for 5 years I did not hear here. You know what I'm saying?
So we need to get like a hardcore 21 Pilot fan on the phone right
Man.
now and have them like sing this specific part
Oh my
because
God. Do you know anyone?
no, I don't know anyone, but we're gonna like
Next time,
we're gonna find somebody. Next time we'll get someone on the line on the phone, have them sing that part, and if they say make around, then there was a shift, you guys.
and let us
Because
know in
here
the
around
comments,
makes no
people.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have less than a minute of a recording. I think it's gonna die soon.
Thanks for coming to this episode of Faith Frequencies.
Please
And
subscribe and
subscribe, comment what you think about this whole alien thing. Tell us how Mercury retrograde and Virgo went for you.
and
And
we'll
we'll
see you
see you in the
soon.